For the Lord Himself is my portion. He lifts my head in glory. For my hand the Lord has exalted. If you can hear me, please wave. As you can see today, I'm standing. We are trying something new. And if you can hear my song, please wave. I have come with stories to tell. I have come with testimonies. Take a look at me. coming up. I hope you can see. My assistants be doing the most. They said it's time for me to stand since I like to dance. So today, we stand. I'm on my feet. No, I'm not wearing high heels. I'm wearing slippers, but we're on our feet. So here we are, and I think it's a good feeling. So welcome to Raina Speaks one more time, and God bless you for joining. You know, I'm always grateful when you join. I'm so blessed that you take time off your busy schedules to join us and to listen to Raina Speaks. Please do tell me if you can hear me by just giving me a wave, saying something so that I'm sure that you can hear me, because I have this little microphone that I'm using, and I want to be sure that everybody can hear me. God bless you for joining. So, today what are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about recruiting staff. I'm sure that it's one of the biggest issues that any CEO, any company, anybody who is into HR faces. Recruiting people and recruiting the best ones, or the ones that will stay on to help you to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish as a company, as a CEO, as anybody. All right. Thank you, Sewa. You know that when you do that, Sewa, I go all all right, let me try and concentrate now. All right, so excuse me. I am a CEO, and I have had my fair share of interviewing people, recruiting people, trying to get people on board. They say one thing today, they mean something else the next. You do not know at a point, you don't know who to even trust. When you're even doing the interviews, you're like, this one too will come and go. In fact, why are we even doing interviews? And there are points where you get to where you even no longer want to do the interviews anymore. It's like, please try them. Let's see if they will stay. If they will stay, then we'll train them. But I have had my fair share of that as a CEO, as somebody who helps to recruit people as well. And I know that even though this is not 100% sure that it will keep the people that you try to recruit, I'm sure that it will keep at least 65 to 70% of the people you recruit. And that is good enough for any company, believe me. In the world now, especially when we started working from home, most of the workers have become, what is the word? They want to stay at home and get paid and do the work. But we can still recruit people who know their sort, who know their worth, and are ready to help you to carry whatever you need to carry, whether it's your own vision, whether it's a company vision, or whatever it is to move it forward. So these are just going to be guidelines that we have that are going to help us to know when we are interviewing people, or when we have the mind to recruit people, what should we do? Now, these are things that I have done myself, and I realize they work a lot. So I hope that I'm going to be able to help somebody out there today to be able to recruit and to get people to work for them. Now, the first thing we're going to be talking about today is that be open. When you are recruiting somebody, be open and explanatory about all your terms, even the minutest details, and even if it's already in the contract. Let me say that again. Be open and explanatory about all your terms, even the minutest details, and even if it's already in the contract that you are going to sign. Why do I say that you should be open? The best thing for you to do is to tell a person that these are the things I expect from you when you are coming to work with me. And these are the things that you should also expect from me as you are coming to work for me. I realize that most people in the moment, they are looking for a job, and so they do not really read the contracts. They do not really read, they do not really process. That's the word I'm looking for. They do not really process what is in the contract. They're in such a hurry to get the job that they don't take their time to read and understand what the job is demanding of them. So you see that they do something and you want to take them on, then they are surprised. Nobody told me this. It's because they have not read through. So as a rule, what I do is, one of the things we do during induction is, even though we've given you the contract to go over and to read, and we assume that you already know, because once you put your signature on any contract, it is a legal binding document. It can be used against or for you. Against or for you. So what I do as a rule is that during our induction, we go through the contract again, one by one, point by point, and we explain it explicitly. We allow you to ask questions so that you you know, that this is what is going to happen while I'm here, and I do not expect anything new, so that if it begins to happen, you are not shocked. I don't know if I'm making sense so far. So be open and explain every single thing about your terms. Don't leave anything out. For example, we realized we had an occasion to tell our staff that you cannot use your phone on the premises, because we have had the kind of accidents that could have happened because of phones. We decided that no, don't use your phone. However, if anybody urgently needs you, that person can quickly contact us on the company's phone and we will let you have it immediately, you know. And that has saved us so many things, because initially when we were allowing it, my sisters and brothers, it was not a simple thing. I run a school, and we had, when we were allowing phones to be used in the school, we realized one of the workers left a child on the changing table to go and answer her phone. You heard me right. Yes. You know how we do at Rain and Speaks. We don't sugarcoat anything. Yes, she left the child on the changing table to go and answer her phone. And I said, okay. I mean, that's okay. I mean, thank you for opening my eyes to this. So since then, we do not use phones for anything. However, the school phone is always available for you to receive calls and to make an urgent call if you need to. And that has worked so far. So be open and explanatory. Take the points of the contract one by one, explain to these people, allow them to ask questions, any kind of question, so that they are extremely clear about what it is you are expecting and what they should expect from you, and there's no problem. Once they put their signature on it, they've understood that this is what I'm expecting from you, and I'm going to take you to task concerning it. All right. Now, for example, we tell our staff who are coming that we are a Christian school, and even your ringtone, in the event that we allow you to use your phone, even your ringtone cannot be a secular song. Yes, so we've told you, this is it. If you are willing to work with us, it means that you know that you cannot have a secular ringtone on your phone. So it is not after we have employed you and you have signed the contract that you are coming to say, hey, but me, that is sitting on my right. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. We have told you have signed, we are moving forward. That is why it is very important for you to make sure that you have explained everything bit by bit, not leaving out even the minutest detail. Wow. All right, that was just point one. Oh, sorry, Sally. Wow. The internet is funny these days anyway, so you can always watch the replay if you are able to watch. All right, number 2 is ask difficult questions. Ask difficult questions. Don't just ask basic interview questions. You know, so what do you bring to the table? So where did you go to school? We have basic we even have paid sites where they tell you what kind of questions to ask for the interview. And just like we have sites that ask what kind of questions to ask for an interview, we have sites that tell how to answer those questions that you are going to ask. So get out of the box. Get out of the box. Ask questions that are out of the box. All right. When do you intend to get married? You see, because it looks like it's in fact, I'm going to get to that, so I'm not even going to go there. Let me ask the difficult questions. What is your take on stealing? What do you think about bribery? These are questions that people don't normally ask at interviews, but ask them. What is your take on stealing? What do you think about bribery? What in your understanding amounts to disloyalty? What is familiarity to you? How long will you be staying here? What salary range are we looking at? All these seem like difficult, especially in Ghana. We don't like talking about money. It's like when you mention money, it's a secret. Don't talk about money, it's a secret. But ask all those questions. Bring out the most difficult questions and ask them, so that you can have the answers you want and you can make a proper choice of who you are recruiting. Ask difficult questions. Number 3 is that most CEOs, most companies tend to ignore this. When a person lists referees, contact the referees. Contact the people who have been put as referees And don't allow anybody to put their father, their mother, their uncle as referees on their CV, especially in Ghana. We do not tell the truth when it comes to our relatives. So don't allow anybody to put their relatives on their CV as a relative. Somebody will say, oh, but I just finished school. I've not worked anywhere. So how am I going to get referees? Your headmaster is there. Your maths teacher is there. The neighbor you live with is there. If you're a good neighbor, I'm sure they wouldn't mind being your referee. You see. So don't just let anybody put anybody on their referee, but do contact the referees and ask, so and so a person is trying to get a job at my place. Am I good to go? Is there something I should know? And even when it comes to the referees, ask the difficult questions. Don't ask, oh, so tell me about the person. Then you've left it alone. You should be, do you think the person can steal? Do you think the person is likely to be immoral? Are there any things that I should watch out for? Are there any good traits that I should try and reach out and make it better? Those are things that you must talk about when you contact the referees. All this diplomacy doesn't really bring recruitment, because all this diplomacy doesn't tell you who you are going to work with, and that is more important than their person's actual credentials that the person has. All right, so that was number 3. Let's go to number 4. Number 4 says, watch responsiveness, watch body language and mannerisms. Body language and mannerisms are very, very, very important. Being intently responsive shows respect and courtesy towards the hiring managers. A candidate who thoughtfully responds when being addressed, politely greets others, says thank you and you are welcome, will set the applicant apart from others who lack proper social skills. So when you see, one of the things I look out for is when somebody comes for an interview, we must offer you a seat before you sit down. When you walk into somebody's office and you greet, that's if you greet, we must offer you a seat before you sit down. You just enter somebody's office now, you have got to sit down on the chair. What if the chair is broken and you're about to fall? We will just watch you to fall. Bet you didn't wait for us to tell you to sit down. So we'll just wait for you to fall. Then we're like, oh, sorry. Could you sit on the other one, please? If you're just taking your time, would have told you that that chair was bad and there was no need for you to sit on it. So we must, it says be intently responsive, which means that immediately we speak to you, we get a response. You know, it is also a key indicator of how they will interact with peers and customers. When somebody is nice during an interview, it shows us how they are going to interact with their colleagues at work. It shows us how they are going to be with the clients. Imagine you walked into my office and I'm asking you a question. So, how did you hear about us? Oh, sorry. How did you hear about us? I was on the internet, and then I've been looking for a job, and then I thought that I started Googling, and I just came up across it, and I saw your advertisement, so I applied. Please, which of us on this platform intends to employ this person who just spoke? Exactly. Nobody's going to be employing that person because your body language is wrong, your tone is wrong, and the way you are just presenting yourself is wrong. Your responsiveness is wrong. So also watch for the responsiveness of the person. Watch for the mannerisms. Watch for the manners and then the mannerisms of the person. Does the person say please? Does the person say thank you? You know, there's nothing wrong with, oh, please, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for asking. You know, I'm fine. Okay. Who told you about it? A friend. Which friend? Oh, you don't know the friend. And you'll be surprised to know that we hear things like that at interviews. Yes, we do. So watch out for the person's body language. The person must be confident, but not arrogant. Confident, but not arrogant. The person must be pleasant to speak to. The person must not look like the person is being intimidated by what we are saying. It's like you're attacking me. There are some people that when they come for the interview, every question you ask, it looks like you're attacking them. Oh, so when did you finish secondary school? A. You know, and that makes it look like, okay, so what question are we really going to ask you if you don't want us to ask you any question? So look for the responsiveness of the person to the questions, the interaction, the social skills the person has when you are interviewing that person, it is very important. In fact, it is one of the most important things I look out for. If you come and you have a bad attitude, you didn't get the job. I will go through the interview, but you did not get the job. Simple and short. Because that is the same attitude you're going to come to work with, and that's the same attitude you're going to you're going to interact with the clients with. So there's no point in taking you and hoping that by the grace of God, you're going to change. All right. Now, number 5 says, pay attention to language and jargon used. This is very important, and I hope a lot of young people will be watching this. There's this new thing that has come. So, have you finished secondary school? Yeah. Do you live in the area where we are offering you a job? Oh, nah. Seriously? Yeah. Nah. I don't know which English words those ones are, but I was not taught. I'm old school. This yeah and nah doesn't work. Anybody who is using yeah and nah is telling you that they are not placing importance on the job. They think it's a joke, or they need something to just while away time, and that's why they are there. So you must also pay attention to the language they use and the jargon they use. Somebody walked in, we're doing an interview, the person forgot themselves and started speaking pidgin English. Oh, no be so. No be so. I get brother for here where I won't come stay plus at an interview. Please, you see these do you be you issues I'm always talking about. It is not at my interview that you're coming to be do you and be you. No, nah. So what do you think you'll be with us for 10 years? Oh nah. How about 2 years? Yeah. 2 years I go feed do. Seriously. As for this particular one, when you start, like, we won't even finish the interview. They ask for the attitude person, I'll let us finish. Maybe it's a bad day or something. But this one, we won't finish the interview. I'll say, Charlie, we will crush. Then I'll leave you there. So pay attention to language and jargon used. Language and jargon and body language tells you how important that person feels that job they are getting is. Yes, Mary, pidgin English. Number 6 is first impressions. First impressions. How did the person dress for the interview and when did they arrive? Very, very important. Candidates who make a good first impression will set the right tone for the interview. Their actions can create lasting impressions during those all-important first encounters. Common sense is key. Dress appropriately for the interview and be on time. Similar rules apply for the interviewer. Are you setting a tone that accurately reflects the true nature of the organization? Make a positive first impression. Making a positive first impression is crucial for all concerned. So you are an interviewee, which means the person coming to be interviewed. Interviewee. Then you have been told that the interview is at 10 o'clock, and then you get there at 10:30 with a whole list of explanations. I needed to come from Accra. I was coming and the car spoiled. I was blah, 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 blah. My sister, my brother, I think that you don't understand what a job interview is. Today is the first day I was going to be standing up to do Rainer Speaks, and I've been standing on my feet in front of this camera, practicing how not to get out of the camera, get in, move around too much for the last 25 minutes. I've been on my feet longer than I care to say. So 1 hour is what I'm doing Rainer Speaks for, and it means I'm going to be there. I've been there already for 25 minutes. So today I'm going to be on my feet for 1 hour, 25 minutes. Anybody going for an interview must arrive 30 minutes before the interview. If you can do 1 hour before, it's good, because then you need to survey the area and know exactly what is going on. While you are there, it's amazing that while you are at an interview, if you are there and things can be said, things can click that you never thought about before and can give you a head start in the interview. So watch for those who came early. Those who came early meaning that they will respect the company or the institution's rules on punctuality. And two, they feel that it's an important place that they are coming to work for. If they come late, always with excuses, thinking that you should understand this Ghanaian human thing. Oh, there is so tough. It was raining, so I was standing under some place. I didn't want to get wet. And you are supposed to immediately put on your human self. Well, it was raining. What can we do about it? These days, the rains, please. If you were supposed to go for a visa to go to America, you would stand in the rain. You would stand in the... In fact, we are trying to even take you inside. Oh, it's okay. Let me be here. Don't worry. I don't want anybody to spoil the life. Let me be here. You will let the rain beat you fully. You will eat in the rain. You will dress. You will be in the rain fully because you are going for a visa. So anybody who did not show up early for an interview which has a stipulated time is showing that the person is not really responsible enough and does not really value the place that they are coming to work. That's number one. Number two is how they dress. An interview is a formal thing. You cannot walk into an interview with a casual, smart casual, almost casual, overly casual, sensitively casual dress in any sense of the word. We've had people come into interviews with unkempt hair, with slippers, in Obuasi, and coming to demand that they want to be paid 4,000 Ghana cedis, 1,000 Ghana cedis, while they were wearing those slippers and they were dressed severely casually. I'm letting that sink in. Do not dress casually for an interview, no matter how casual they said you should look. You should look your best. You should present yourself. We just talked about first impressions. First impressions are very important. So how they see you the first time is the memory they have of you. That's the first thing they get to see about you, and that's the memory they have of you. When they are finally going over their marks, for want of a better word, to be able to employ people, one of the things they are going to talk about to describe you is the way you were dressed. So imagine that you walked in there with a pair of slippers and they are trying to also who is the Ekuyamansa, or the lady who walked in with the slippers? And what about Jojo? Or the boy who walked in with Otofista? And you see, so that's what, anytime they see, even if they don't take you for the job, anytime they see you anywhere, the first thing that strikes them is your slippers, is your Otofista. So dress properly. Put effort into your dressing. Don't overdo makeup. This makeup I have on is very good. You could take it for an interview. In fact, you can take it anywhere. But then you appear at an interview. I remember a lady who appeared at an interview, had very long nails. I remember that we are at school and we're employing her at the preschool section. Very long nails, very, very wild makeup. She had blue eyelids. She had, my sisters and brothers, it was a sight to behold. She was on high heels, proper high heels, proper high, is short, proper high heel. And we asked her that, are you coming to work? She said, oh yes, she's very good. She spoke very good English. Her communication skills and her people skills was on point. But just the way she was dressed told us that this person is not ready. Thank you, Sewa. How do you want to be remembered? How do you want to be remembered? So, dress well and appear early. Come there early. And for the interviewer as well, they say we should come early because they want us to portray what the company is for. If we are there early, the interviewee see we are there early. However, one of my points is going to be come late. I think that is peculiar to certain places. It is not for every company. But we'll talk about that later. So let's just go ahead. Number 7 says that don't be quick to recruit, and don't recruit people with no vision. Don't be quick to recruit, and don't recruit people with no vision. One of the questions that is very important at an interview for you to ask is, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself in the next 2 years? And the person doesn't necessarily have to tell you that I see myself working still at your company. That's a whole lot of, excuse my language, crap. And they know it. When somebody's sitting in front of you and we ask, so where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? I see myself as the HR manager of this company. In 2 years, I would have become better in serving the company. Please look at my face very well. Nah lie. Them they lie. Nah lie. Which 5 years are they going to be there? They are not going to be there. They are just saying something nice to represent something. You know. But if a person tells you that in 5 years, I want to be the CEO of my own company. In 5 years, I want to have furthered my education and come out. Those are very great visions. And I would advise that even though the person is not mentioning your company, that person has a vision. That person has a place they are going. And therefore, that person is focused. And those are the kind of people you need to work with. People who are focused, who know what they are doing, and who know where they are going. So they would not allow distractions. Those people do not allow distractions, you know. So don't be quick to recruit. There was a time in the school where we were seriously understaffed. We had to combine some of the classes, making them like big classes. But I was not in a hurry to recruit. Parents were giving me pressure. Why is it that we don't have teachers here? Why is this teacher teaching 2 classes? Blah, blah, blah. I looked at the parents and I said, you see, we've been so quick to recruit people. And what happens is they come there with a different mindset, beating children, insulting children. And so I have learned by default not to be in a hurry to recruit people. Because most people are just looking for something to eat. They don't want to really work. They just want a place to while away time. And that would not help. So don't be in a hurry to recruit. And when you are recruiting, make sure you have recruited people who have a vision and know where they are going and are very, very focused. All right. Number 8. It says, read every detail on the CV and ask questions. Don't brush through the CV they brought to you. Read every single detail on the CV and ask questions. An example of a question is, why have you stayed only 1 year in your last 3 companies? Why have you stayed only 1 year in your last 3 companies? Very important. A person who keeps saying just 1 year, 1 year, 1 year in the companies they are in, it shows disloyalty. It shows instability. And that person cannot help you. Nobody can be in your workplace for a year and really catch the vision and the mission and have it inculcated in them. Don't let anybody deceive you. I used to allow people to work for 1 year. Now I say no, it's 2 or 3 years. If you will not work for 2 or 3 years, I will not work with you. Because it takes more than a year. I mean, probation is 6 months. Probation, to make all your mistakes, to help us to train you, is 6 months. Are you telling me you can use the 6 months to implement everything we've taught you in 6 months? It doesn't work. You know, so Mary says, some interviewers will disqualify you when they get to hear that your vision is to start your own company. They feel you will get distracted, especially if a private work. You see, I think that, Mary, I think the issue is that most people do not know how to present their vision. Some people present their vision as if I'm coming to use your company to build my vision. Of course, I am not going to allow you to use my company to build your vision. So when you are speaking about your vision, make sure you have put in there where that company fits into it. Don't just talk only about you and the way you are coming to. One thing I, for example, do not like hearing is that I'm coming. So what is your vision? I'm hoping to start my own school. For me, okay, we're back. The internet was doing its thing. So for me, if you tell me you want to start your own school, I'm happy about it. But don't tell me I want to start my own school, so I want to come here and learn how to start. I want to pick up things from here to be able to go and start my own school. No. No. That's wrong. That is wrong. Rather, I would have you say that I do want to start my own school, and I know that I will learn a lot of things while I'm here, but I'm also willing to input and bring a lot of things to the table. All the ideas I intend to have, I want to put it to work here to help grow this one, so that when I go to my one, I know how to grow it. You see, you've put me in there. You've put me in there, and therefore, I'm willing to work with you. But all you are talking about is how you are coming to use my company to build yours. Hell no. I ain't going to spend endless nights on my bed thinking about what to do, then you just come and pick it up and go and use it for you. No. Hell no. No, 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 no. There has to be something in it for me when there's something in it for you. And I would advise that anybody who talks like it should not be taken. It means that the person has probably heard you're doing very well. I've had people come to my school, come and pretend they are working, steal ideas. Some take away my books, my lesson plans, and go and work in other schools or go and start their school. I've had parents bring their children to my school just to come and learn and get some of the worksheets we have and go and start their own school. And then come back and try and convince the parents in my school to bring the children to their school. You know, so don't do that. Don't use anybody's business as a stepping stone to start yours. It's completely wrong. It's completely wrong. Do your best while you are there, and the person will teach you all you need to know. I am never afraid of competition. Competition makes us better. Competition puts us on our toes. If you are a monopoly, you seem to think that you are the best thing that has happened until competition arrives. So competition is good. But if competition is from you, the person is within you and is competing with you, it's dangerous. So tell the person why you want to learn from the person. Give the person accolades. I am trying to work with you because I know that this is a very powerful place to work in. It is an august institution, and I believe that wherever I'm going later in life, that the things I will pick here in the next 3 or 4 or 5 years that I'm going to be here. You see, you've even stated time. I'm going to do my best, put out my best, bring all my wild, juicy ideas. And I know that as I do that, I will also pick things up. It's a win-win situation. It's a win-win situation. But if it's all about you, no. So, Sewa says, yes, a man or woman with a vision has a sense of direction and focus. With that, you can tell if they are a good fit for your organization. Exactly. So, interviewers should not be afraid of people with vision. They are the most focused people. They know what they are doing and they know why they are doing it. So all you have to do is harness them well and they will be of benefit to your organization. All right. Number 8 says, like I was saying, read every detail on the CV and ask questions. Why have you stayed only 1 year in your last 3 companies? And I said somebody who's been staying just 1 year in every company is disloyal. The person has a problem. You stay 1 year here, 1 year. Nothing can grow from that. So if you see somebody who's worked in big companies, this big company, but it's only been for a year, please do not employ that person. Do not employ that person at all. Let that person go. Look for people who are willing to stay between 2 to 5 years in your company and work with them. All right. Number 9 says get personal. Get personal with whoever you are interviewing. Let them talk about themselves and previous jobs and see if they will give credit to anyone. Any interviewee you are interviewing and that person has spoken throughout the interview and not giving credit to anyone, do not employ that person. Has not given credit to your father, has not given credit to their mother, has not given credit to the previous places they worked, has not given credit to anybody. That person is self-made or thinks they are self-made and will do you no good. There must be a place in the conversation where I worked here and this is where I picked some of these skills. I worked here and they really taught me how to. So like we asked, so what makes you think that we should employ you? Oh, I'm a very powerful people person and I think that if you employ me to be to your advantage, here we go again. The person should be able to say something like, oh, the previous company I was working with, they took us for trainings for customer service and it really helped. I'm very grateful to them that they took us for trainings for customer service. You see, they should be able to say stuff like that. And get personal. When I say get personal, what do I mean? Any young lady that walks into my office for an interview, I ask, when are you getting married? That's too personal? No, it's not. This is why it is not too personal. You are telling me that you're going to be working with me for 5 years. You are 27. And even though in this day and age, age doesn't really matter, but by 27, any girl that is a girl, is thinking about marriage automatically. That's just how we are wired. It's not about Africans. It's all over the world. So my point is that as you are coming to work with me for 5 years, when a man comes to marry you and he's taking you to Fabodi to chop, will you go or will you stay? Because by my values, once you are married, I believe you should join your husband. You should go with him. So as you are sitting there, you are giving me all these nice promises. Then when you finish giving me all these promises, I say, so when are you hoping of getting married? Next year. You see, you just lied. You just lied. Because once you marry, the two of you have to agree. Obviously, there are some men that won't mind you finishing your contract before you leave. But more often than not, in a very new marriage, the person may want to join or may ask you to join. So it's a personal question, but it affects my business. I asked you another question that, do you have any sicknesses we should know about? You're like, oh, it's personal. But I don't understand why you mean it's personal. Because if it's a sickness and you keep coming to tell us, I have to go to the hospital, I have to go to the hospital, we asked you and you did not tell us, what we do is that we don't know about your sickness, we leave you alone. And we begin to think that you are just trying to use sickness as an excuse to get away from work. Say, well, come and use the plantain to stop my car for me. Have you understood? Alright, so get personal. Let them talk about themselves. As they talk about themselves, they'll reveal what they think about things. They'll reveal what they think about people. They'll tell you exactly why they are there. I always also ask, how many siblings do you have? You are number what? If it's a last born, that person has got issues. Last borns are so pets that they want everything their way. If it's a firstborn, they are more likely to be choleric. You know, they may work harder, but they are choleric. They want what they want, you know. And if it's a middleborn, they are more likely to cause more trouble. Also, if the person is a firstborn in their family, more may be required of them from their family members than a lastborn. So it may be personal, but it's going to affect me. And we've had people in the school where we are teaching and then the parents will go, please, I need my child to go and buy Meko for me. I need my child, it's my firstborn, I want to be able to send them to Accra. Yes, in Obuasi, that's what they do. And if you refuse to let the child go, while they are working, they should stop and come and go to Kumasi and Accra for them. Or they've been in school on Monday or Tuesday, the parent wants to send them to Accra or Kumasi. If you don't allow them, they'll say, stop, madam, that's what they do in Obuasi, where I am. Yes. For real, Sewa, yes. So they came to school on Monday. On Tuesday, the mother wants to send her to Kumasi. The father wants to send her to Kumasi. You say, no, you can't do that. It's not in our contract. On Wednesday, they won't come. Then they've stopped the work. That's what they do in Obuasi here. I don't know if it's done in other places, but where I live, that's what happens here. So ask the personal questions. Are you somebody your parents need to be at home all the time? Are you the one who does the cooking? Do you do the washing? Who looks after your family? Who pays the bills? They are personal, but they affect the kind of work that I do. We look after little children. So we need people whose minds are working very well to be able to do that work. Ask personal questions. Do you have a beloved? A beloved is a fiancé. In my church, we call it a beloved. Have you recently broken up with your girlfriend? I ask all those questions. Because you see, people walking around, they have problems. If you don't fish out those things and then see how best you can walk around it, or how best you don't want to even work with it, it can create issues for you. Do you know that? If you interview somebody who is very overweight, you have to ask a personal question that, are you working on your weight? I said very overweight. Are you working on your weight? If you're angry with me for asking you, well then, we can't work together, because the kind of work you're coming to do for me needs you to be up and about. You cannot always be sitting down and expecting things to be brought to you. It doesn't work. You know, I've had something like that. A lady came and she was completely overweight, and we asked her, so are you going to be able to move around? She said yes. But just climbing, we have a stairs in front of the office. I think it's, let me see, about 10 stairs. Just by the time she got up there, she was panting, she was out of breath. She needed to sit in the lounge for a long period to be able to even come back into the office. So imagine that you are teaching SG1 people and they are running around. You have to change hey, bring that, hello, what is that you're only bringing to me? And you are just sitting in one place. The children will kill themselves. Because you can't move. You're too big to move. And so I need to address that in the nicest possible way that I can. to call during the day? Do you need to call your parents? Do you look after somebody? Ask all those things are very, very... Have you been divorced before? We've had people who have been divorced before, will just be there. Some man will appear there, or some woman will appear there to come and look for the divorce partner and come and create issues. Do you have custody issues with your husband, with your estranged wife or husband? Do you have custody issues? We have people who had custody issues. So you see, all these things look like very personal things, but they have an effect on the company that the person is going to be working in. Do you have anger issues? How do you react when this is said to you? What is your longest rope? How long is your rope? How long is your rope? You know, so those things are personal, but you have to ask, how many boyfriends have you had? How many girlfriends have you had? Too personal? No, it's not. Because if the person is a serial killer, that person is going to do it at work and it's going to cause problems. I had somebody like that who was proposing to all the ladies in my school. And very soon, all the ladies in my school were not speaking to each other. How does work go on? How does work go on if you don't ask those personal questions? So personal questions, I mean, of course, you cannot ask very intimate questions, but you can ask personal questions at an interview, depending on the kind of organization you run, so that you know if this person is going to serve the purpose or is not going to serve the purpose. All right. Then the last one we're going to be talking about today is something I mentioned earlier. I said show up late. Sometimes you, as the interviewer, the one who is going to interview the people, sometimes you need to show up late, intentionally, because you want to see the amount of patience the people have. So sometimes one of the ways to test your interviewees is to show up late and see what their faces are going to look like when they see you are the one coming to interview them. Their attitude when they sit in front of you and you are late. All those things are nice ways of testing these people that you are coming to interview for your company, for your organization, for your business. So let me go over again the things that we have talked about when you are going to recruit people today. The first one was, be open and explanatory about all your terms, even the minutest details, and even if it's already in the contract. Number 2 is, ask difficult questions. Ask difficult questions. Number 3 is, contact the referees they provide. Number 4 is, responsiveness. Watch for body language and mannerisms. Number 5 is, pay attention to language and the jargon they use. Number 6 is, first impressions. How did the person dress for the interview and when did they arrive? Number 7 is, don't be quick to recruit and don't recruit people with no vision. Number 8 is, read every detail on the CV and ask questions. Number 9 is, get personal. And number 10 is, sometimes you need to show up late. Yes, they were testing their patience and threshold. So are there any questions? Let me start scrolling through. Are there any questions? So far, there are no questions, but the contributions are very powerful. Yes. So these are 10 points you should consider and can add to your other long list of points you already have when recruiting people or when taking people on. These are some of the questions these are some of the points you must consider that I believe are very important. They are points I've tested out myself, and by the grace of God, they work and they do well for those of us who are recruiting. Thank you, Rosemond. You like my earrings? They are from B Buttons. B Buttons. She makes them. She also makes these. So it's a set. The earrings and the beads. If you need some, Rosemond, just get in contact with me and I'll let you get some. Don't worry. I'm glad, Mary, that you've learned, especially the last point. Thank you. I'm glad that you have learned. Yes. All right. Then you know how we do it. If there are no questions, thank you, Sarah. Beautiful, sir. Thank you. Then we go dance as usual. session, everybody, and God bless you. Don't forget, you can always watch the replay. And do follow us on Instagram at Reina Speaks 8 and on Facebook at Reina Speaks. We have, let me turn this off for a minute. We have a workshop coming up. We did the Good Work Ethic workshop in June, and it was amazing. We are going to be putting up some of the videos. We started putting up some of the pictures. So we have another edition of that in August. And the good news is that even those abroad can join us, because we are going to be doing a zooming. I'm trying to find a word incoming. So we're going to be using Zoom so that those outside Ghana can also join in the workshop. I'm going to put details on the page very soon. Please do contact the numbers there, and you can join us for a beautiful session, Good Work Ethic session in August. So do follow us. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want to grow our YouTube channel. We have just, I think, is it just 38? I think 38 people. That's not good. We should have like 1,000 people there. We're also trying to grow our group to 20,000 people. So help us to do all that, and God bless you as you do so. Now, where were you?